This poem, I think we still have the frontier spirit is very much alive in America. The title of this poem is Frontier Spirit. Hi friend, how's the weather? Bam, you're dead. See that old codger lagging at the light, dragging his left foot? Bam, bam, out of sight. He won't block you no more. Look at that kid giving his mom lip. Clip, clip, no more lip or face. Do not disturb, it's in the Bill of Rights, the gospel of Christ. He was crucified so we could turn the cheek of the other guy inside out. Blow his mouth from here to bloody there. Thank you. Our next poet is Ptr Kozlowski.
Yeah, Peter.
Peter has been on the scene. Back in the 80s, he was at CBGB's working with a band called Baby Boom, led by J.D. Rage, and he was a guitarist and singer in this group. So Peter's been around for quite a while, and he draws on his past experience as guitarist and singer in his performances. He's been published. I saw him read at Cafe Scali as part of the Phoenix reading, and I was so impressed I asked him to join our collective. And let's hear a warm welcome for Peter, who now is living in Brooklyn. He moved from Hawaii back to Brooklyn. So he'll be with us for a while. Okay, Peter.
What's that big orange cloud to the southeast? It's not a sunset. It's in the wrong direction. Besides, the sun is set. You don't suppose there's a city? You don't suppose there's a city going on over there, do you think? Too bad we know it's not good. That orange cloud, I mean. Too bad we know it's poison and we have to wish it gone. They could put up clouds like that for decoration. You'd spot it from the hillsides in the metropolitan region, from the aircraft as you're making your approach. Look on your left, the blue cloud of Chicago maybe, or the green cloud of Abilene. What's that big orange cloud to the southeast after the sun has set? Is it like a spectrum of the meat flame? A swamp gas-like glowing of the humanic ferment? Are they all some shade of desperate? Are they all at work right now in that big orange cloud to the southeast? Not a sunset. Well, as the blood falls on the pavement, and it does look red, I guess the total light reflected back up into the sky from there is by some small degree now being shifted to the red. What is that big orange cloud to the southeast? Not a sunset, not for decoration. You don't suppose there's a city? You don't suppose there's a city going on over there, do you think? I feel like I'm being digitized, even as we speak. I got the sense that I'm being pixelated, and it's not what I'd call sweet. I know I'm a lucky guy, whoopee. I can Google anything I want, yippee, or look it up in Wikipedia. Golly gee. Some lonely lady in Bulgaria wants to meet me. She's sending me her digital biography from across the sea. She's sure that I will understand a man like me. I can find other strangers who think like me. He, he, he. They show me the same things that I see in my dreams. How lucky can I be? But I can't get over this feeling that I'm being scanned inside, even as we speak. Somebody's tracking my whereabouts with an RFID. They must have somehow implanted me while I was asleep. And now I'm some little dot that blinks on somebody's screen. I already know I'm being portion controlled, you know what I mean? You can only talk to people for so long, and their eyes start to glaze. Because they got this little voice inside of them saying, we're gonna have to take a short break. These are the stories we're following. We'll be right back after this. But I'm already being portion controlled, but now it's like I'm shrink wrapped, barcoded, and palletized. Edited for content and formatted to fit the screen. A screen all filled with credit cards, erectile pills, and diet plans, and wealth creation schemes. Assured that I will understand a man like me. It dawns on me I'm being monetized, and they're not doing it for me. I've got global resources at my fingertips, and they've got me. All upgraded to the latest version and optimized, performance tweaked. I'm ahead of the curve in so many ways. It gives me the creeps. I feel like I'm being digitized, even as we speak. This is called Flesh Against the Steel. Well, no. Father wasn't there at the time. He stood at home before the mirror, with the sparkling edge of stainless, making scraping noises up his neck and along his chin line. At the same time, sterile gleaming forceps wrapped around your head to pull you out from mother and into touch with instruments. Not only did they cut off your ancestral root and place on you instead a clamp, it wasn't long before they warned your budding stem. They made sure your seeds of future life lost the starting jump out of your gate to blood. You lay there squirming, waking up in bandage. Open your new eyes to see your flesh against the steel. Invent the wheel. Discover speeding past your neighbors. Discover crashing. As your shaking lips and frightened tongue detect the rubbery shards of shredded knee skin, broken loose or still alive, somewhere in the taste of muddy blood. Now the sight impresses, some few feet away, the metal. It's the eyes that taste the metal thing's rebellion, the assertion of its logic, the enforcement of this memory of the flesh against the steel. Later, it's the sounds attacking. Grunts of stamping, shrieks of tooling, dying, iron quakes up from foundations, thuds against the chest, and shouts, demands, metallic as the foundry, for production stepped up, stepping on who knows whose legs, to punctuate the minting process, puncturing an eye, drowned in din, but heard just as steely, and as the clanking locked up chains and gates. And as surely as the axes, slowing down the fenders, trying to ford the picket lines. It spells the destiny of handcuffs and the click of rifle hammers. Listen to the grind of armored carriers, now come to press the point about the flesh against the steel. It even has its devotees, this flesh against the steel interplay, cornering their blood pressure, bottle up inside one limb to make the vein reach out and touch the chrome alloy, to touch the shiny, tiny pricker point and its scent of death, and its closed eyes' taste of cheeks ballooning out in puckers through some chain link or chicken wire. Sensation of the wiggling crowd who push until they bulge against the drop-forged, case-hardened, tempered, honed, and polished edge of what there is. Well, I went to, already mentioned, I was in Hawaii. And remember they used to have t-shirts that said, Grandma went to Hawaii, all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Well, I like to say, I went to Hawaii, all I got was this poem. Robert Louis Stevenson got here before me. It's when they called it the Sandwich Islands, or spelled it O-W-H-Y-H-E sometimes. But he knew Princess Kaiulani. He dashed off some verses one day in praise of her person and her beauty. Not me. I got to form Miss Hawaii doing public service spots on the TV. She's pretty. And when Mark Twain was here, he hiked right out into Kilauea caldera, up so close to the lake of lava in the crater Hale Mahu Mahu that he could feel the ground he was walking on start burning through his shoes. I'm leaning on the rail at the Park Service overlook, checking my mobile device for the latest news. Jack London checked it out. He found a leopard to write about. An archetypal symbol of his people's plight type leopard, no less. Good work, Jack. But you know, Hansen's disease is treatable now. And we got something that isn't. You know, the Big Island, if it viewed from above facing west, kind of resembles a woman's torso. But if so, Mother Nature's got a lump in her breast at a spot called Pohakuloa. They had to practice with that stuff somewhere before shooting it around over in Kosovo. Depleted uranium weaponry, don't you know? Rich in chemical toxicity and with ionizing radiation to boot. Irretrievably dispersed now. Or it's not there, they tell us. On a dry altitude of a place that the local folks still think is sacred. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Somerset Mom. You got footprints in the jungle. How about footprints in the tangle of organic polymers down on Camilo Beach? That's where they used to catch logs floating over from the Pacific Northwest. Now it's a giant landing zone for the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Coffee cups from Guadalajara, mixed DLT clamshells from Vancouver, plus the occasional toothbrush dropped from a cruise ship passing in the night. There's now more plastic sand on that beach than there is the old-fashioned kind. Jack London's leper Po'ola was right. He saw us coming to run for the hills. So the plague came from Asia, the saint to help him with it came from Europe. He'd like to get away from them both and climb up through the fronds and stems and petals. Just wanted to bleed back into the earth that gave him birth. His secret to death, one last uncolonized act. Po'ola was right. Jack London was right. And you know, out of all these writers, Jack was the one who surfed.
Bravo!